I spy the Pitons in the distance. Oh, they are so much cooler in person than they are in any of the photos. This is so cool. These mountains are beautiful. And tonight I'm going to pick up a mooring right at the base of the pointier one. So excited to go see Soufriere and check out the Pitons. This has been something that I've been looking forward to for a really long time. So I picked up a mooring and I'm just going out in my rowboat to take some awesome sunset footage, which I don't really have a lot of footage of my boat when it's not underway, so I'm really stoked. I was in my dinghy photographing my boat when two guys from the park service came and they picked me up and they gave me a super awesome tour all around both of the Pitons on their little park boat. They were really friendly and it gave me a really special look into all the little places where you can put your boats in the Pitons. There's actually a tiny little resort between the two of them, and you can moor between them or on one side or the other. I chose the Soufriere side because the next morning I was going to go clear out, so I wanted to be close enough to town that I could just pop over, hang out for a little bit, and then get going on my way down to the Grenadines. It was a really swirly, still night. There was no wind, and it was my first and only night where I had mosquitoes, but it was totally worth it because I got to see the sunset over these gorgeous, crazy, weird mountains. Good morning from the beautiful anchorage of Soufriere, which is right at the base of the Pitons. This is an amazing place to be. It's a national park, so you're not allowed to anchor, and even though that's annoying for my wallet, I really appreciate that countries have started recognizing how much anchoring is tearing up the seafloor bottom and just destroying all the coral and the eelgrass. Also, where I am right now, it's 100 feet deep, even though I'm super close to shore. The wind has been from the south for the past couple days and super late, which means that there's a weird swell coming from the west. So it's been a pretty rolly night and really hot because there's no wind, but it doesn't even matter because this is what I have been looking at all morning, so it's totally worth it. I'm gonna clear out today. Yeah, then tonight I'm gonna sail to Beckway in the Grenadines. It's about well, you know what? There's no wind, so it's gonna be a longer than 12-hour sail. So if I leave in the evening, I'll get in the following morning. You can see it's dead flat out there, which means either motoring, which means not sleeping, or sailing at 1 knot, which also means probably not sleeping. So we'll see. I'm not thinking about that. Right now I'm just thinking about this. Soufriere is a super cute little town. I found a really nice art cafe where you could get delicious coffee and there was a ton of local art. I rode around the waterfront side of the town because I've always found that towns are prettier from the water often, and it was actually really fun to see all the fishermen mending their nets up on the beach. I'm just taking a little tour of the harbor, taking some photos. I've already seen a pig swimming in the water and lots of fishermen, so things are pretty exciting here. Some of you are asking me to get more footage of people that I meet and sort of outings and things on the street, and the reason I don't have a lot of footage of that is that I'm a little bit shy to bring my camera out and about with me. I also like to have my important human interactions just be mine. Well, I don't mind opening up and sharing my life with you guys. I feel like when I really meet people that I connect with, I want to be present and not behind a camera. It definitely changes your interactions. So I was in Rodney Bay for 10 days. I met an amazing group of people and I don't have any footage of them. In retrospect, I partially wish that I did because they were awesome. But there was no part of me that wanted to be behind a camera interacting with them. I just wanted to be around them as a real human presence. So that's why you're not really seeing a lot of that part of my life. I'm glad we're having this heart-to-heart out in my dinghy in the middle of the harbor. Well, I'm off to a slow start. There is no wind here, but I think it picks up a little bit once I get out beyond the lee of these mountains. Really sad to be leaving St. Lucia. This has been one of my favorite islands so far, and I just hope the Grenadines can live up to it. I think they will, though. Well, here we are. I'm on course. I'm going 0.8 knots. Hopefully it picks up, or it will take me 24 hours to get there, or more. Actually, more. Well, that's good. The breeze is already filling in. So the customs lady and I bonded today when I was clearing out. Usually the customs people are really interested in the fact that I'm solo. And especially in this culture where women my age are married with kids, they're really curious about why I'm not. A lot of them are sad for me, which is kind of funny. And they always ask me why I don't have someone with me. Like, I should, like I want someone, but I'm not able to get someone. So it doesn't bother me because it's just genuine curiosity, especially when it's another woman, which it often is. And I have really good conversations with them because they're so interested in what I'm doing. Usually we'll exchange phone numbers so they can keep in touch with me if I ever come back to the country. Steaming along at 0.4 knots. The question is always to turn on the motor or not to turn on the motor, because I know that right now I'm just in the lee of the Pitons, but I'm not really going anywhere fast. I can see a wind line up ahead, so I think I'm just gonna hang on and wait, hope another gust rolls off the mountains and pushes me into the wind line. At this rate, I'll get there tomorrow night. Yep, that would be unfortunate. Well, it turns out the wind line is actually a high drip line and I'm going backwards, which is really fun and exciting. I'm not really sure if I'm making any forward progress at all. My knot meter is saying 6.6 knots, 0.6, but that is just the current moving under my boat. I don't know if you can see it in the camera, but there is a very finely delineated line up here. And I know I'm in some weird tidal currenty stuff. I'm just curious about what this is. It's definitely some sort of tide rip, but I'm hoping it's combined with wind. All right, I'm getting pushed. My bow is getting pushed west pretty hard. I have the tiller all the way over this way, and I'm barely steering a straight course. Here's a fun fact. I am getting, my bow is pointing south, but this little dude is telling me that I'm going due west, which means that I am getting pushed west further than I'm getting pushed south. And I'm starting to look at my surroundings and I'm not really moving. But you know what? I think I can make it through this without turning on the engine. And this is fun. So while Gecko's getting pushed offshore and not really moving at all, I have this beautiful avocado that I'm about to eat. The thing with these island avocados is that the pits are usually pretty big. But you never know. Yeah, see? Whoa. Yum. I wonder if avocado shots are a thing. Like you could put, I don't know, cucumber gin into an avocado. Recognize this view? I am not moving. You know, I'm starting to understand why they put those little tidal rip wave icons by the point. So I just hit track on my squiggle, so it's gonna tell me exactly what is happening. But I'm not turning on the engine. I can beat this. Uh-oh. Everything is backed. And I'm actually moving northwest, which is really great because I want to be going southeast. This is like the boat equivalent of a treadmill being stuck in a current, because here I am sailing ferociously away and going absolutely nowhere. But you know what? It's good exercise for my boat. It needs it. Okay, it might be time to admit defeat. So this is my track line. That's where I was getting swept by the current. That's where the gust was, and now the gust is gone and I'm getting swept right back out. So I've had enough fooling around, I admit it. Turning on the motor. Okay, I just turned on the engine. Let's see if it's strong enough to turn me. So my bow is pointing south right now. Due south on the compass. Here we go. Woo, it's starting to work. Oh, I am barely making it. Maybe I'm not making it. No, not. This is funny. I guess eventually either the current will change or I'll get pushed far enough offshore that I'll be out of this current. But the thing is, I'm trying to head east and that's where the wind is coming from, so I really don't want to be any further west than I have to be. We'll see though. Maybe I just won't leave St. Lucia. I'll just hang out here by the Pitons all night. full steam ahead and going nowhere. That's the tagline of my new book. Same view. I'm closer onto my course, but not going the right direction. I'm just going east-west, east-west in front of this here mountain. Well, I've been here for almost an hour now. The view has not changed. The sun is gonna set pretty soon. This is my track so far. Once again, my bow has constantly been pointing in the same direction. So, this is when I turned on my engine, and first I got pushed all the way out here, and then I got pushed all the way back. And you can kind of see, so basically my westings and eastings are when the wind kicked in and helped. I don't know what happened there. Engine is not enough to bite this, but when the wind picks up it is, so. This is funky because I'm starting to go backwards again because the wind has died. It was a nice windy stretch here, nothing there. Same mountain. At least I'm not getting pushed onto shore, so that's positive. Even though it's a little bit frustrating being stuck in all this current, I really couldn't be stuck in a more beautiful location. You know, I spent one night paying to see the sunset over the Pitons, and the second night I don't even have to drop the hook. I can just watch them relaxably from my boat while the sun sets over the water. So people pay for this stuff. This is particularly frustrating. I actually did a figure 8 here. This was the last half hour was from here to here. That's 500 feet. This is more. Good news is that right now the tide's going out and it's slack tide at 7:30. It is 6:51 right now. So I'm hoping that once slack tide hits, I'll be able to just motor out of this stupid current. The end is near. The light is disappearing, but I have high hopes for the future. It can only get better, I think. Maybe I shouldn't say that yet. Okay, I am now deciding to admit defeat, and I am pointing a little bit west of south. I'm just going to try to get out of this thing. My course is basically due south, but this is the direction it says my boat is going. Due west. I'm having flashbacks to the Gulf Stream, except in a very less intense sort of way. So I'm just going to go with this and hopefully just get out of this stupid currenty area. Good news, I'm heading southwest of about 1 knot, and I think that the further south and west I get, the more I'm going to get out of the stream's clutches, and the more I'll be able to actually go towards where I want to go. So things are looking up. I think once I get out of this, it's actually going to be a nice night of sailing. Conclusion, I finally got out of the worst of the current at around 9 o'clock that night. I calculated that I had about 4 knots of current against me and really low wind, and my little engine can't do that. So it was a long slog, but eventually with my westing I made it out of, there must have been some weird loop going around the mountains, and then as I cleared St. Lucia I started to see the last tails of the current until finally I was in the channel between Lucia and Vincent, and everything was great. I went outside St. Vincent on the Atlantic side of it because the wind was still light and I didn't want the wind shadow of the island, and I made it into Bequia the next morning. It was a really awesome passage, wind on the quarter. It was a little bit squally, so I didn't get a ton of sleep. I had to keep getting up to adjust the course because every time a squall hits with the wind vane, the boat rounds up, and then when the squall goes away, the boat rounds back down again. And since I was a little bit close to shore, I was only a couple miles off Vincent, I just kept getting up to change course, but no big deal, so it goes. Thank you guys for watching this week's video. I'm so glad that I finally got out of that current, and apparently it's a thing that people know about. I just didn't know about it because I didn't research it, I guess, or no one told me. But if you're ever in St. Lucia and you're trying to leave Soufriere, head out to sea or pay better attention to the current. I don't know, either one. Thank you guys for watching and liking and subscribing to my channel. I have a Patreon account if you're interested in supporting me. I'll put it in the info below this video. Thank you to all my patrons who are supporting me and making this possible. If you want to follow my up-to-date progress, right now I'm in the Grenadines, about to head to the Grenada side of the Grenadines. I have an Instagram account, it's @BoatLizard, and I post videos and stories couple times a week so you can see where I am in a little bit more real time than these videos. Happy Tuesday to my other side of the world people, Monday to the rest of you guys, and I'll see you next week.